I think I'm just excited to have all the friends and family who've probably never met each other just from all these parts of the world come together and celebrate.
Hi, I'm John from PGP Wedding Films, and welcome to Say Yes to the Best, where we talk to the best wedding pros to give you wedding planning advice. Subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram. We have new content out all the time to help you with your wedding planning. Today, we're doing something a little different. I am not interviewing a wedding pro. I am interviewing Jeanette Kakareka. She has an awesome YouTube channel called Ballerina at Home. You can also follow her on Instagram. She does a lot of stuff over there, and she is also an engaged bride. So I thought it'd be interesting to kind of hear her story. Hi, Jeanette. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So one of the reasons that we wanted to talk today was because you were in Germany as you got engaged.
Yeah, I have been living in Germany a couple years now.
So you were starting your whole wedding planning remote. You're from Pennsylvania, and you said you're also trying to incorporate your fiance's Chinese heritage. So there's a kind of a lot of balls in play. But especially as so many people have moved to doing their planning remotely during the quarantine, I thought, you might have some really great insights since you've had to do all of your planning from the start remotely.
Yeah, so we got engaged in Germany, so we're doing all the planning remotely, which I think a lot of people can relate to right now. And I'm also trying to bring in the cultural elements of my future husband's family, like you said.
So how did you and your fiance meet?
We actually met in London for our first job. We're professional ballet dancers, so it's like a very international environment, actually. And yeah, we met there, and then we moved together to Germany a few years later, and that's where we've been.
How long have you been together?
So it's a little over 5 years, so by the time we're married, it'll be 6.
Awesome. And how did he propose?
Actually, we planned this super awesome vacation in Santorini, Greece, which was super, special. We never really get to vacation by ourselves because our families live on other continents from where we work. So we usually only spend our free time going to visit them. So then we just decided, no, we're going to take a real vacation. And he was very insistent on it. So I kind of had a feeling maybe. And after dinner, we went back and he'd kind of coordinated with the manager of the hotel, and there were all the flowers and candles, and yeah.
So you got engaged. What was like the first thing you did to get the planning ball rolling for your wedding?
I guess the first thing, besides obviously calling friends, but I did wait to tell my parents in person because I knew I'd meet up with them soon. I think the very first thing I started doing was to check on venues, because I know that sort of sets a tone for the rest of the planning. And I was back in Pennsylvania pretty much immediately after that for about a month. But the thing is, actually, my little brother was getting married that summer. So I got to watch like a whole thing unfold in front of me and be a part of that planning. So I think that was also a big part of me learning how to make a wedding happen.
Yeah, so your brother kind of got to be the rough draft for you, saw all the mistakes and work them in.
Yeah, actually, I kind of thought of it that way a little bit.
So at this point, how far are you in your wedding planning? Like, what have you done? What are you still looking to do?
So we have a venue, we have a caterer, we have a photographer. I got my dress last year, thankfully, because now, you recently just did that wedding dress video where they're talking about, it can take a solid year at this point. So I'm really lucky I got the dress already. I'm going to have to go back and do a fitting. We figured out the officiant. So we've figured out like quite a few big things are really important. And I know I've been asking family to start collecting these little decorations for tables and things. So I would say a lot of the major stuff is done.
Well, how much of that did you kind of have to start while you were still in Germany? And what were some of the challenges with, remotely trying to get something planned in Pennsylvania?
Well, The photographer, for instance, we had to do something like this where we were just video chatting them and then looking at their work. And, I guess it's not so different than just calling somebody, because I'm not sure everybody always can meet up with their photographers. And we did the same with the officiant, which I think a lot of the time officiants like to meet you in person, but we weren't able to do that. And it wasn't like I had somebody in mind beforehand, so we were just looking online and looking at suggestions and, websites like Wedding Wire or something I have been using a lot, just to try to get good reviews. I really care about what other people have to say too. I think that that's a big part of having to plan remotely, is that I'm trusting other brides and couples and their opinions, and then just seeing if we vibe well this way.
And it's interesting, reviews, most people, don't ever hire these professionals except this one time in their life. Like, you're never going to need a wedding video except this one time, or you're not going to need wedding photography or an officiant. So it's like, you don't necessarily know exactly how to do it. So those reviews can really kind of give you insight into people you're giving a lot of money to, and you have to put a lot of trust in to make sure that your day is perfect.
Right. Yeah. I think it helped a lot because I got to see what my brother had done. But on the other hand, yeah, I think you have to trust other people, and research and know your stuff. Like, I read people's websites. I didn't just skim it and say, oh, well, good enough, whatever. Like, I really tried to get a personality from someone and try to figure out who they were, because I think that was a big part for my future husband and I, is that we're looking a lot at personalities and seeing if we think people are approachable. Actually, I also found my makeup and hair person that way too, and I'm hoping I can get a trial in person. We'll see.
So what's been your favorite part of the planning process so far?
That's hard. I think I like just sort of getting the vibe. Like, I really am somebody who likes to go on Pinterest and things and like find the general idea that I'm looking for. I'm a visual person. I'm in the arts, so I guess that's why, but I'm really visual, so I've been enjoying looking and designing, and I think maybe that's my favorite part, but it's hard to say because I've been enjoying a lot of it. I think because we had a 2-year engagement, I'm only a year through, right? So I still have a lot of time, so I don't feel super rushed, but at the same time, especially now, because a lot of people are postponing, I'm seeing that things are getting booked up. So it is lighting a fire a little bit, and I am needing to push a little bit more, but yeah, I think kind of everything.
Has there been anything that's been more challenging than you would have expected, or that hasn't been your favorite part of the process?
I think the hardest part is just realizing how much money weddings cost. I think I was really shocked. Like, also for the wedding dress, I went in there like, I don't need something that's, on these big TV shows, it's all crazy. Of course you don't need something crazy, but the starting point for those dresses was a lot more than I thought. So I think, again, I was lucky that I was around another wedding because it kind of gave me a dose of reality. I think when I was younger, because of course, you talk about marriage beforehand. It wasn't like a surprise that we got engaged so much. So we talked about it, and I really had a different idea of budget entirely. So I had to find ways to make it work. Yeah, that was probably the worst part.
Is there any part of the process that, you still have to come and you're excited for?
I'm really excited for my dress fitting and also for the hair and makeup trial. I purposefully am giving myself a little bit of time this summer so that I can come back from Germany, be safe, take my time, and then go to meet people, still with the safety stuff in mind. So I'm really excited to see a little bit more of a look come together, just because I can't physically be doing all the stuff I'd want to do if I probably lived in the same country as I'm getting married. I would probably be a little more active, and I'd be the one going to the thrift store and trying to find decorations and stuff. So I'm kind of excited to actually see the dress, see it get fitted, see what they're going to do with my hair and my makeup. That'll be fun for me because I'm used to like stage makeup being done, and it's like over the top, and of course you never wear that outside or for your own wedding. So I'm excited to have that happen and try it out and get things a little more together.
What advice would you give to other couples who are kind of, forced to be in the boat that you're in, or just also planning their wedding from afar, that they have to do more things remotely than they thought they would have to?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit like I said, that it's about personality. So I would try to really research and really understand who it is, like you said, that you're giving money to. It's a big investment. Also, I think a lot of people should think about wedding insurance. Luckily, we had done that beforehand. It's not such a big thing to spend your money on when this wedding is a big expense anyway, and it protects that. So I would say trying to find the personality and really research the people that are going to be involved in your day, so you really feel comfortable with them. Even if you can't meet them in person, at least a call, at least looking at their website and understanding who they are, looking at their work properly, and then insuring your day, I think, is very important.
Yeah, I think that's great advice, because I think this whole experience has kind of shown people that the personalities of your vendors really, really matter. Because for me personally, I like to feel like I put myself in a good circle, and I've only really seen positive stories. But just online, you hear like the random thing where one vendor is just not potentially working with the bride, or they're making them have to make a lot of different concessions. So, you want to have those conversations and feel comfortable with someone before something crazy like what's going on now happens, and you're forced to kind of have difficult conversations with maybe someone you don't have a good rapport with.
Yeah, that's true. And even on a smaller side of it, just that if you are a bit more stressed, like in a time like this, I think it's even more important that you just feel very comfortable with who you've hired, and that you can trust them on the day to just be professional and do their job. And for me, having to do things remotely, if I felt like I wasn't sure that somebody is professional enough to just take the reins and do their job, and I have to like tell them exactly what to do, that would be so stressful. It's so nice to just know well that the person will be good and they're nice, and I will get along with them on the day, and it won't be a problem. I think that's a huge relief for people.
Yeah, I've told like my second filmmakers and just other people, like part of being a professional is kind of troubleshooting it without having to have your hand held. And, because you don't want to have to deal with some vendor's issue. That's why you hire them in the first place. What are you most excited for, when the day comes and you're in the dress and the wedding's here?
I think I'm just excited to have all the friends and family who've probably never met each other, just from all these parts of the world, come together and celebrate like we're getting married. Like, I'm so excited because he's my best friend, and I'm just really happy to be married to him, and to share that with so many friends and family. And they're going to be making such an effort to come all the way here, so I really want to make that special for them.
So I also wanted to let you talk a little bit about your YouTube channel and your Instagram account, because you have some awesome content that I'm sure a lot of people could really enjoy and really get a lot out of.
Well, a lot of the videos so far have been a little bit ballet geared because, like I said, I'm a professional ballet dancer. So I have things that, I talk about how I remove my stage makeup, and I have some silly DIYs. I have some serious ones on how to sew point shoes. I think some of it would be helpful for maybe someone who has a student, their child, who's taking ballet classes and they don't know how to sew a point shoe yet. But I'm also hoping to get some wedding DIYs as well filmed and put them up. So I really enjoy cooking and getting crafty and things like that. So I hope I'm going to incorporate that some more.
Her YouTube channel and Instagram account are linked below. So if you're just looking for some fun content, if you like ballet, and if you're looking forward to some real wedding DIY and some real wedding talk moving forward, definitely check out her channel. Jeanette, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was really nice.
And thank you for watching Say Yes to the Best. Again, subscribe on YouTube when you're subscribing to Jeanette's channel as well. as well as following us on Instagram, as well as following her on Instagram. We have new content out for you every week to help you with your wedding planning. Thank you again, and happy planning.